What's up everybody, my name is Noah and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to teach you how to 3D model in a computer-aided design or CAD. In this case I'm going to show you how to draw this cube in Autodesk Inventor 2026, but if you're using another software I think you should be able to follow along because it's quite the same principle in every CAD program. So how are we going to start? To create a new file, we can go or to the left bottom to home or the top left to file. We can create new, we click that, and then we have these maps. In this case we want to create a metric file. Then we can choose between create a part, an assembly, a drawing or a presentation. In this case we want to just create a part in millimeters. Then press create. So now we see this big white screen. What is this? The white screen is actually a theoretically infinite space where you are going to draw your part in. So it's not like a normal sheet of paper where you have edges where you can't draw outside, but this is like an infinite space, let's say. So how are we going to define the point where we want to sketch? So in the top left we can create a 2D sketch. Let's click that, and then we see all these planes. If we want to create a sketch, we have to decide which plane we're going to choose. In this case, we want to create a sketch on the XY plane because in this case I want to 3D print this, and I know that the build plate of the 3D printer is the X and the Y direction. This differs from manufacturing methods such as milling, turning, die casting. Any manufacturing method has its own UCS, let's say, so user coordinate system. So we're going to sketch on the XY plane. Click that. Then to create the cube, what do we have to sketch first? First we want to sketch a square area that we want to define with dimensions. So to create the square we click the rectangle, but then we can still choose between a number of different rectangles. In this case we want to click the 2-point center rectangle. Click that. So we want to make sure that the middle of our square is constrained or fixed to the midpoint of our coordinate system. So let's click the center, and then we see, if we move it around, that it's all symmetrical. Either way you move it, it's just symmetrical, which makes it, for this situation, easy to adjust in the future. So let's say we want a cube from 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. So let's define. Highlighted in blue, we type 50, then we press tab or we click the other one, then we tap 50 again, and then we enter. Now we see it's out of our screen. We take our scroll wheel and scroll out. Then we can, if we press escape once, you can check in the right bottom corner that the sketch is fully constrained. That means that the this sketch is fully defined with dimensions that's necessary to have a valid sketch, let's say. Then we have to get the depth of the cube. That's called an extrusion. We go to 3D model in the top left, and then we click extrude. The extrusion is actually if you take a cube like this and you pull it out, you just pull out the face that you just sketched. So it's actually as easy as that, but you just have to know. So we click extrude. It automatically detects the face. If it does not, or you have a more complex face, you just click it or unclick it. Then we can also enter 50, but you have different ways to define the behavior of the direction. So if we look here, we can see we can put it in this direction or the other direction, or we have the center plane extrude from both sides, so it's a mid plane, or we have a plane, we have an extrusion with different extrude lengths at either side. But in this case, we just take the default setting, extrude to one side. So now we have 50, 50 by 50, and voila, here we get it, the cube we wanted to sketch. Some few tips for the beginners. If you want to move the sketch around, you can, or take the cube in the top right and you can turn it around, or if you want to move it, let's say like this, sorry, mouse wasn't working, you press Ctrl on your keyboard and then click scroll wheel, and then you can move it around. Then you can go to home and have it at its base position. So yeah, this was the first tutorial on how to make a basic sketch, but this is a good beginning where we can work from as a base. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.